Hello friends, welcome back to your own YouTube channel Ask Your Gynecologist. I am Dr. Sonal Parihar. As usual, I have come back with a new topic which has been requested by you all, and today's topic is follicular monitoring. Now before I start with the topic, let me just tell you and thank you all first of all for the response, the tremendous response you have given to the channel. It is growing very well. Right, so thank you very much. And there are three ways to contact me now that I have a good amount of population listening to me who want to contact me, who want to get treated by me. Three ways to contact me. Number one, DocWise app. Now this is an application which is a mobile based application. You have to download it from your mobile's Play Store. Then you insert the doctor's PIN. My PIN is C2TXJ. I have also given the support number which you can contact in case you're not able to get the application properly. Now once you do this, you will be connected with me in my mobile, just like WhatsApp. You can share your reports. Whatever you share with me, I will give back the answer. If you request me to call you, or if I think it is necessary to call you, I can call you, but only if you are in India. Okay, then we can exchange voice messages. So it is a very good application. I can send you prescription as well, but I would just suggest and advise people who are actually coming on DocWise app, try to take prescriptions from your local doctor, because it is basically easy and it is actually ethical for a doctor to examine the patient and then give you prescription. Just on the basis of online consultation, just on the basis of looking at your reports and talking to you on phone, if I give you medicines, they might not work so well. Okay, so it is slightly unethical. So I try to avoid giving prescription, but still if you want it, if I think it is okay, I will give it. Right now, the second way to contact me is using Super Chat. Now there is another channel which you must be aware, Dr. Sonal's Answers, in which I go live every second third day. Now this is for people who understand Hindi, obviously, because I talk in Hindi, but in case your question is in English, I will answer in English. Okay, so that chat is basically, I am doing it free of cost. Whatever questions I gather from the videos and from the community posts that you are sending to me, the community posts that I put, and you put your questions down there, so I select those questions. I answer only general questions, but in case you have a question in which you want the answer there and then, and you think that it's a personal question but you still want me to speak on the live session, then you can use the Super Chat option which YouTube has given to you. Third way is the best way. You can take out your time, come to me to Jodhpur, India, Rajasthan, and then consult me in my own hospital. This is my secretary's number. You can always call her for my appointment. Right, so now coming back to the topic, follicular monitoring. What does that mean? What is the meaning of follicular? What is the meaning of monitoring? Monitoring, we all know. Follicular, well, it is the monitoring of follicles. What are follicles? Now, if you have seen the structure of ovaries, we have got two ovaries inside. The women have two ovaries. Each ovary has millions of follicles inside it. Now, there are so many follicles. They are basically houses for the eggs, because eggs are formed in different stages. So it can be oocyte, it can be, there are different names. I don't want to go through those biological names because you will get confused. So basically these follicles are basically houses, and they grow. They start growing from day 3 or day 4 of your menstrual cycle, and then they start growing, and then they grow till probably day 14 or day 15, which is your ovulation day. So many follicles start growing in both the ovaries, but only one out of either right or left. It has either this or this one. We cannot select it. It is just your body who selects it. It is just nature. We don't know. We cannot predict which ovary is going to ovulate. It is never alternate, that if it was last month it was this side, then it will be this side. So it is basically the body which decides which ovary is going to ovulate. It might be that one ovary might ovulate 3 times continuously, and then the number comes for the other one. So it is basically something which is not in your hands. So these follicles, they start growing. They start growing from day 3, day 4, and they're very small. They contain immature eggs, but only one out of all, so many millions, only one will become dominant, will go to the size of 18, 20, 22 millimeters, and then it ruptures. It ruptures on the day of ovulation. Right, now this one may contain, we assume that it should contain a mature egg. This egg is captured by the tube. The tube captures it, and then it stays in the tube for around 24 to 30 hours, because that is the duration, the lifespan of the ova. In a normal woman, a woman who is not taking any medicines, one egg will be released every month. By normal, I mean a woman who has regular menstrual cycles. A lady who is not menstruating regularly, she might be having anovulatory cycles. That means she is not ovulating every time in every month. That is why she is having kind of irregular cycles. So she may ovulate, she may not ovulate. So it is like unpredictable. We cannot say when she is going to ovulate. So in such cases, she will need treatment. Okay, so in a normal general woman, she will ovulate one egg, and that egg will stay in the tube for around 24 to 30 hours. Then if she has intercourse, say 1 or 2 days prior to ovulation or 1 or 2 days after ovulation, because the sperm is alive in the body for around 3 to 4 days. So the sperm, if it is alive and the egg is also alive, and then they meet in the tube. So sperm takes around 6 to 8 hours to travel from the vagina to the tube. So if it meets the egg, it fertilizes the egg, there becomes a zygote. That zygote within 3 to 4 days comes inside the uterus, comes inside and gets embedded in the uterine wall, and that is the establishment of pregnancy. That is when you start getting your urine test, pregnancy test positive. That is because as soon as the embryo, it implants inside the uterine wall, there is sudden gush of progesterone and human chorionic gonadotropin. These are the two hormones which start increasing as soon as the pregnancy establishes. This is why you get 2 lines in the urine test. Now, the body starts preparing for pregnancy as soon as you ovulate. So that is why if you look at this graph, there will be fluctuations of hormones going on. Now, why are these 2 phases different? We call it follicular phase before ovulation, and we call it luteal phase after ovulation. Follicular phase means the phase in which the follicles are growing, as well as the endometrium is growing. The lining of the endometrium is growing because it has to re-establish itself. It has already come out during menses. It has already shed. So in the follicular phase, the follicles are growing. In the luteal phase, the follicles have already grown. One of them has ovulated, the egg has been released, and then suddenly the progesterone will go up because now it is preparing the uterus for pregnancy. It is waiting for the sperm and waiting for the zygote or the embryo to come inside the uterus. In case the ovum dies within 24 hours and the sperm doesn't come, then obviously the patient has to menstruate again. She will not miss her periods. So what happens? The progesterone comes down. After the peak, it starts coming down. It starts coming down. Already the endometrium is thick enough to menstruate again, and then the menstrual cycle starts. So from day 1 of your period till about day 14, till you ovulate, is the follicular phase, and then from ovulation till you have your next period is the luteal phase. Now, we have discussed many times how to calculate your ovulation day. We are not going into the details of that again. Just I would just say if it is a 22-day cycle or 35-day cycle, what you have to do is just subtract 14 days from day 1 of your menstrual period. So just 14 days before your period started, you have ovulated. That is in general, because the second phase, the luteal phase, is kind of fixed, 14 days. The initial follicular phase might take some time. If you have a longer cycle, 35-day cycle, then the follicular phase will be longer. If you have a shorter cycle, then the follicular phase will be shorter, right? So 14 days before your first day of your menstrual cycle, you have ovulated. Now, who are the ladies who actually need follicular monitoring? The ladies who are not ovulating, the ladies who need treatment for ovulation. So what do we do in treatment? We give you drugs. We give you clomiphene tablets, we give you letrozole tablets, we give you human menopausal gonadotrophins. These are same as FSH and LH in your body. So what does these hormones do? These tablets, these hormones, they have different mechanisms of action, and what they do is they stimulate the Graafian follicles, and we want you to ovulate more than 1 ova in 1 month, which is not normal. Okay, a normal lady will just ovulate once or twice, sometimes twice. Now that is again a question of interest, because this generally doesn't happen. But if it happens, what will happen? If both the eggs are released in the same cycle, say in a couple of hours, with a gap of couple of hours, and both get fertilized with a sperm, you will end up having non-identical twins. Non-identical means they are basically formed of two different eggs. So they may have the same gender, or they may not have the same gender. That is just by nature, but then they will be non-identical. The faces, the characters of the body will not match, so they are non-identical. So what we want during follicular monitoring, during ovulation induction, is that you should produce more than 1 ovum in both your ovaries. We try to stimulate both the ovaries. We don't know where the hormone will go, whether it will go here or whether it will go there. We just inject it in the body, okay? And then likewise we have to titrate the dose. Now that is why I tell you, the patients who are actually connected with me on DocWise and they want me to prescribe ovulation induction drugs, I always tell them to take a prescription from a local doctor. Why? Because we have to do a lot of manipulations while doing the follicular monitoring. We might have to reduce the dose, we might have to increase the dose, we might tell you to come later, say after 2 days for sonography, we might sometimes call you again the next day, or we might tell you to come back after 3-4 days when we see the Graafian follicles are not growing. Okay, so many things have to be done. Sometimes you get overstimulated, then we have to treat you accordingly. Sometimes we have to reduce the dose. Sometimes we have to give you injections for rupture. Sometimes that injection doesn't work, we have to increase the dose. So we keep changing the schedule. So it is very difficult for a doctor who is sitting just online, just on the basis of your reports, to give you prescription. Even if I give you prescription for ovulation induction drugs, first of all, there should be a doctor who is ready to do a follicular monitoring for you, and then the doctor who is doing follicular monitoring and the doctor who is prescribing the medicines should basically communicate, because the one who is doing the follicular monitoring might want to increase the dose, but she cannot because the other doctor is sitting there somewhere else. So it is very difficult for the patient. So it is always better to get all this treatment done under one roof, okay, only under one doctor. Now coming back to the treatment schedule, we have given you injections, we have given you tablets, sometimes even just tablets work, sometimes we have to give you injections with the dose titrations. Say around day 14, day 15 your follicles are big enough. Now big enough means around 18 to 20 millimeters. Now the problem arises when there are many follicles, 3, 4, 5 follicles, just one has come to the size of 18, 20 and the rest are almost reaching there, they are around 16, 17 millimeters. Now what to do? So what I do is basically I try to postpone the ovulation because I want all these follicles to grow. I don't want to just rupture one follicle, because if I give you HCG now, you will rupture that follicle which is 18, 20, but the other follicles which are kind of moving there, growing and fast moving, they will kind of die before, because they will get luteinized by the hormone which has been given too early for them. Okay, so I would rather wait for another 2 days. Even if this big follicle becomes 22, 24, it's okay. So even 22, 24 size follicles also sometimes contain good eggs. So it is basically nature. We don't know what is going on inside the body. There is no hard and fast rule. It has to be 17 and 18. It has to be 18 and 20. No, we don't know whether sometimes very good looking follicles, very good rounded 20 millimeter follicle, it ruptures. Still it is empty. It doesn't have an egg, or even if it does have an egg, it might be just a poor quality egg. So it is very difficult to determine what is happening, because eggs cannot be seen in ultrasound, eggs cannot be seen in naked eye. Eggs need microscope. Now we cannot put a microscope inside your body. Okay, so whenever we are doing even IVF, when we take out the fluid, we don't know as to how many follicles will contain how many kind of eggs and what will be the quality of eggs, right? So that is why I tell you, don't get upset when your doctor is giving you medicines and you think that okay, the doctor told me today the egg has ruptured, now go and have intercourse and then come back with the baby. No, this does not happen all the time. The chances are low because we are not able to understand what is going inside the body, and still the science cannot be so advanced that you can fight God, right? So if the God wants you to be pregnant, then you will be pregnant, right? So it is not in the hands of doctor after the ovulation. After the ovulation, we don't know what is happening. Even after doing IUI or IVF, we don't know whether you will implant, whether the pregnancy will carry without abortion. So it's really, really very difficult. Okay, so what I was telling you, if one follicle is growing, is big enough and the others are growing, I would rather wait, and I would want all 3, 4 follicles to become 18, 20 millimeters or even 22, 24, and then I will give you the injection. But what happens if I give you the injection, if the doctor gives you the injection of HCG, human chorionic gonadotropin, and you do not rupture? Then there is another option, either you repeat the same injection or you give another injection. Now the another injection, another substitute for this is GnRH, gonadotropin releasing hormone. That is also available in the market in different names, and these hormones basically help in rupturing the follicle. Okay, now the question, which ovary will ovulate? Because sometimes what happens is some people say, I've got a left ovary, I've got a right ovary. Now I've got a left tube, but the right tube is missing. Now what? So if the right tube is missing because of whatever reason, say ectopic or whatever, it might happen that this ovary ovulates and then this tube kind of captures the egg, and then you get pregnant with that. But what happens if this ovary ovulates? If this ovary ovulates, you do not have a tube here to catch. Now there are two things that can happen. Either the ovum will just die, it might not enter the other tube, or the second option is it might enter that tube. It might travel all that area and the tube might catch it. So it is just nature. Now if the tube catches it, first of all, it might be too late for the ova to survive, to be healthy enough to wait for fertilization and then come back to the uterus and get successfully implanted inside the uterus. Now there is one option that it might come there, or the second option may be that it might just stay, it is lazy enough or tired enough, it just stays in the tube, sperm comes there, it gets implanted, it gets fertilized, and then the egg and the sperm, they together form a baby, a zygote inside the tube. So that's another ectopic. So that can be a disaster. So yes, it is very difficult to decide what's happening happening inside. Many patients ask me, ma'am, what to do, just tell us something that we just want to ovulate from this ovary, we don't want to ovulate from this ovary. Well, the other only option is you can just get this ovary removed, which you don't want, because there is so much risk. But I would not advise that. Don't do that. Okay, so it is just nature. I'm just trying to explain what all things are happening inside the body which are not in our hands. Even the doctors cannot do anything about it. Now there are certain things which you can do about it. Okay, now many things which kind of alter your fertility rate, which kind of the diet modifications, which I would say the lifestyle modifications. Stay healthy, eat healthy, stay away from alcohol, stay away from tobacco, stay away from stress. I have already discussed this in my video, how to get pregnant, 10 tips that I have given you, 10 particular tips. That was long back the video came, and it has more than 1 million views. So stay away from stress, eat healthy, take a balanced diet. It should have sprouts, it should have protein, it should have legumes, it should have beans, it should have broccoli. Why broccoli and beans? Because these are green vegetables and they contain lots of enzymes which help in digesting the estrogen hormone, which is kind of getting surge up and down and kind of altering the ovulation. Then avoid smoking, avoid tobacco, avoid alcohol. Do indulge yourself at least 1 hour or half an hour in running, or whatever kind of exercise you like. You should maintain a healthy BMI level, that is a body mass index. That means the amount of weight that you should have according to your height. So BMI charts are available on the internet, you can just check. So stay healthy, stay away from stress. Everything will happen eventually. Okay, also take some supplements which contain omega-3 fatty acids, folic acid, zinc, then myoinositol, melatonin, all these, even vitamin D and vitamin B12. These are certain supplements which are necessary, especially for women who are slightly getting on the older side, like more than 30, 35, they have still not conceived, or even the patients who are trying to conceive. These multivitamins and supplements, the nutritional supplements, they help you in conceiving and getting a good quality egg. Right? So that is all, guys. That is all I need to tell you about follicular monitoring. In case you have any more questions, the live chat is open. You can come on Dr. Sonal's answers and type your question there. Not on the live chat, but a day before. You will come to know once you start watching the channel that how I select my questions, right? So if you like the video, please like it, share it and subscribe it. Thank you very much. I'll be back again with a new video. Bye-bye.